Hi everyone, Erica Rock, Spiritual Catalyst, here to talk about the energies that we have the opportunity to work with and play with today as Venus is entering Aries. And as we're coming into February, there's so amazing celestial, energetic movements happening that primarily affect our emotional landscape during this month. So emotions are like a big energy theme for February. Heart-centered consciousness is a big energy theme for February. Relationships is a big energy theme for February. Passion, creativity, what it is you desire, big energy themes for February. So we've got Venus, the planet of love. Venus is all about unconditional love, entering the fiery sign of Aries today. So what this does, the opportunities we have, it shifts us toward a more kind of impulsive, passionate, and independent expression of love, values, and relationships. And when I say impulsive, meaning you'll be guided to do something sparks your heart, and you kind of just go for it without overthinking it, because here's the deal. The heart is always clear. The heart is always clear. That gentle whisper that you hear that comes from the center of the heart, where we're receiving guidance, we're receiving wisdom, we're receiving inner promptings to do X, Y, Z, comes from the heart. And like the idea of it makes your heart go, fly open. It feels good. You're like, hell yes, I am so doing this. And then what tends to happen is the mind pops in and gives you all the reasons why you can't. And then we go into self-doubt and criticism and uncertainty, lack of focus. And so really the energies right now are inspiring you to listen to that still, soft voice within. And I don't even know if I'd call it impulsive as much as living from the heart, and you act without overthinking. Doesn't that sound good? Because if you look back on your life, how much have you been, what divinely guided ideas, inspirations, creations come through, and the mind takes over and gives you all the reasons why you can't do it. And then you don't do it. And then you look back and there's a little bit of regret, why didn't I do that? So we're really it's like a fire being lit, where you're being told, go for it. And I don't know, it's like we have access to just bypass the mind and just, like Nike says, just do it. Just do it. So this dynamic transit, it ignites sparks of fiery passion to go for it with our desires, our dreams, our relationships, our values, urging us to pursue what it is we want, what it is we desire, without the self-doubt, overthinking, hesitation. And also during this time, independence and love and relationships is very up. It's very up. It's this really beautiful dance we do between being in relationship and still standing in our own light, power, truth. Because in relationships, there's you, there's the other person, and then there's the energy of the relationship. And so the energies are inviting us to be autonomous, authentic, coherent, aligned, true to ourselves, while also being in relationship and considering the needs of others. And I'll just leave it at that. Considering the needs of others. Oh, so the energy, the opportunity here is to break free from any limiting, restrictive patterns and to cultivate a deeper sense of self-love and self-respect. Self-love and self-respect. Even in January, a lot of us were feeling like this is like declaring this is the year of me. And it's not about not considering other people around you, of course not, but how many of our years on this planet have we been people pleasing? Have we been putting everyone else's needs before our own? And the energy saying, how is that working for you? Do you want to continue that pattern? Because that pattern often leads us in burnout, resentment, anger, with a big side order of I'm always here for everybody. I'm the one that everyone calls when there's a problem, a struggle. I'm the one everyone calls, but when I'm going through my shit, there's no one there. That kind of pattern, we are shifting this with a realization, I love myself enough to start putting myself and my needs first. And it's not about being selfish. But the realization is when I take care of myself, when I'm doing my self-care practices, when I'm feeding my cup to overflowing, it actually is better for everybody, because then you can show up present, filled with energy, ready to go, and with your heart open. With your heart open, instead of like, you know what, I've been doing for you for like 20 years. It's time to do me, you know? So it's time to shift those patterns. So as Venus navigates the fiery train of Aries, courage and vulnerability becomes key. Courage and vulnerability becomes key, because guess what? We have this conditioning that vulnerability equals weakness, and that if we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, people are likely to take advantage of us, which is a fallacy. Actually, we are in our strength and our authenticity when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we allow ourselves to really be seen, really be heard. And then the beautiful thing about this is it gives everyone else permission to do the same. So it is a beautiful gift to allow yourself to be vulnerable and to realize that vulnerability equals strength. You might want to just like say that to yourself a few times and really take that in. Vulnerability equals strength. And it does take courage to be vulnerable. So perhaps in your meditation today, or while you're doing your self-care practices, ask to connect to Venus and to Aries, and ask, invoke, bring in the courage to be vulnerable. Just ask for it, set the intention. That puts powerful forces into motion. Powerful forces into motion. So this transit also, speaking of courage, it kind of encourages us. We're being given the opportunity to be more open, to be more direct and honest in our relationships. It's almost like we can't help ourselves to be more open, to be more direct, to be more honest. Because everyone is at max capacity of being fed up with censoring yourself, holding back your words, not wanting to rock the boat, not wanting to upset other people. Remember, we are not responsible how other people respond or react to what we say and do. It's time. It's high time to let ourselves off the hook for that. Because the truth is, we cannot control other people and their reactions and their emotions and their responses. So be authentically true to you, and everything will fall into place. And if people leave your life, know that it's not a loss, it's a realignment. It's a realignment. So, if we go deeper into this, another layer of this is authenticity and genuineness. Become really valued. And we're being asked to prioritize relationships that honor our individuality, our unique soul signature, our unique expression. Because each and every one of us is a fractal of the one. And your fractal, your sacred geometric template is just as valuable as everyone else's. There's no one above or below, in front or behind. We're all teachers and students, and what you bring to the table is valuable, and it's a part of the tapestry of the whole. So, these are kind of like the big energy themes for today and throughout February. It's not just today. It's a really powerful time to reevaluate your relationships. Do they feel good? Do they feed you? Is there a good synergy of give and take, or are you the one always giving? Maybe it's time to let go of the excessive takers. Time to put you first, prioritize you. That's a big, big theme for 2025 in general. So prioritize your own needs and individuality. And by doing this, you give other people permission to do the same. And you're like on your way to being more empowered, authentic, and living a fulfilling life.